Why hello there, I'm Chris, and either welcome or welcome back. Today I wanted to record some Warhammer 40k again. It's taking me so long to record these. To convince myself of recording these, not because I don't want to play it, I don't want to read it. Even the voice actors for this game tapped out, so I've looted all these corpses already, I've leveled up my characters. Let's head back to the Void Ship Bridge. The loading screen right out the gate. I am unmuted. I am recording. I am actually recording, which is lovely. Yeah, see. Right out the gate. I have to take this one. The voice actors don't do that. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual. But if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first... Your heart starts beating furiously, your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Victress is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of the sudden wave of unease. Without even looking at the Vox Master, Cassia waves her away. First I wish to speak with the RogueTrader. Leave us. Oh, of course. When you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Victus, then, lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. Well then, what do you wish to speak about? After a few seconds' hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale, and then raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet, who was served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Materium and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders, I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Well then, sure. Tell me more about what the ritual entails. I doubt the uninitiated could understand the mysteries of navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. Cassia lifts a lock of her hair from the back of her neck, revealing gilded implant ports. After that, I use the House or Celio ritual, which I am loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts. And then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mergers, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light! The guiding thread so fine it can slip from one's grasp at any moment. Cassia unfurls her hand, as though dropping something. But you have nothing to worry about. The navigators of House Ocelli never lose their course. Well, I shall ensure that all the necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. Cassia nods and thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the ride. I ask that you do not follow me. Few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it's opened. Alright. Almost. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis speaks of the susurration of cloves, pious chanting, and the metallic click of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence. Initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uwe. The excellent ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whisper of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurry away. I see. Violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and amber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foaming waters. Armadas drowning in fog. The path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone. The Voxmaster recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks and the Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast. Lord Captain, I've never heard the warp speak through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Well, she said everything is fine. I'm assuming that everything will be fine, so... Soul-shredding screens drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain. Their throats raw from the strain, and then sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. Oh well. It appears the servants were part of Lady Navigator's rite, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. RogueTrader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. You hear a heavy scare, rustling fabric, and metallic clicking. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely, even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report on the condition of the station, Urek 5. Had you opted to begin your visit to the Rykad system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representatives of the Navis nobility brought us precious time. We can either focus our efforts on disassembling the station and procuring technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. Well, then gather any components that may be of use on the ship. As you command, Lord Captain. Items received. A scrap container times 3. Okay, cool. I don't know what that will do. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are still looking for an Enginseer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and, much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrichs van Kale. I'm gonna stick to it. Heinrichs van Kellogg's, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not on Urak 5, so we should keep this in mind when making any future plans. Like, I love this option, but I will stick around with it too, I guess. Thank you, Victress. This will be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Alright, I thought we go here, as this one has like the most quest thingies. The New Blood, the Machine Spirit Keeper, and land on Rykad Minoris. This is like the prison planetoids. Yeah, possible. Let's go here. So, yeah, visiting that one. Lord Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
Oh, now you decided to voice this. It pleases me to see you adjusting to life aboard the ship.
Compared to Urak 5, your ship is a boundless world of unfamiliar hues. And yet, the abundance of bright colors can at times be wearisome on the eyes. The bridge and the decks are so clamorous. In my search for a place of quiet, I was fortunate to come upon this islet of serenity filled with rare tomes and practically devoid of color.
The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Your only attendant is your valet from Urak 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
Perception test succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often become the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising, then, that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. Well, I see you are fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
I guess number 2 is the only one we can pick here, I suppose. So, yeah.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting.
Well, the game didn't leave me like any new options, I suppose, so let's continue.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying? You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Well, I am as well surprised why I have to bother with this. But I was sent here.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it is just as natural to share them with others.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls, and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
I understand what you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so... private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Like, what is this answer number 2? What the fuck? Like, the first one is cheesy as hell, but that one? Come on. Perhaps my people did not wish to disturb you.
Or because my presence offends them. Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
I guess we did that one. Is there anything to loot here? Like, I doubt it because it's my ship, like, technically speaking. Everything here belongs to me. Now, like, it's still awkward. Onward! What is it now? Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. Victus pauses as if listening to something. It is pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Viserian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Like, it's like when you're walking outside the door and you're getting stopped, like, multiple times before you're even setting one foot outside properly. Or calls coming in just when you left. The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by the voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of the high-born brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. Or Lieutenant. Lieutenant, nicht Lieutenant. Lieutenant. The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrila Vent, requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures. Vent exclaims hotly. I suppose I did that. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks in order to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I'm convinced that this step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sauerbach, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Viserian, and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. Well, how did all this start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tension between enforcers and workers to a head. And where does the seneschal Viserion come into all of this? I shall explain. Abelard intones grimly. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the RogueTrader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora van Valencius will find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Viserion. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink, Ben says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4, to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Abelard, what do you have to say to all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks to stop the assault unit and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way you will stop the uprising before it begins. What exactly is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable on the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the Arch Enemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rot-gut ruin. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to the sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Well, there is a third one of you, so who the fuck are you? You kinda look like the Psyker, but sure. Apparently it's the Master at Arms. Master at Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you, and yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective. Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command, and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. Sauerbach bows her head in Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Viserian's opinion on what Fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Mistress Sauerbuck, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit. Abelard, do you wish to respond? Mistress Sauerbuck, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior, or one where I would overrule their order, or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard have always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. That you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck, handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. It thrills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest, and forces are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is the sole foundation of order. Lieutenant Vent, would you say the Seneschal singled you out from your peers in any way? Lord Captain, I swear that Seneschal Viserion has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions. Although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place, he has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him. And while not all my fellows receive such attention, I know of at least a dozen fine officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sight to ensure that they continue to strive. To prepare new generations of the dynasty's servants, to instruct them, and to separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it. That is my duty as Seneschal. This ship has space worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now was my student at one point. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. Well, I'm certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Throne preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. Adelblad grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric. But please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which led them to your and your Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to the before myself and see the expedient resolution of this incident. Yeah. Are we fighting? I don't know. Do not know. But it is weird. Let's go fight all my own crew members. Because from what I've heard, the Seneschal didn't do anything wrong thus far. Like, it is in a way commendable. Hey, it's Viserion. Take that, scum.
Look who it is. It is all his fault.
And something more, but I could not read that. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture, and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and wariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all of the locals with servitors. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this. Like, I find his approach rather sound, you know? Like, it's not really favorism if, like, people are striving to support those that strive. You know, why wouldn't you? I can loot my own bloody ship. Steal from the poorest of the poor. What's this? It's cargo. Sure, I take everything. You have things to spare. We'll see.
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
The sounds of the heated discussion reverberate through the ship's space. Lieutenant Avrilla Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master d'Arms Jocasta Sauerbach, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make the stand down. The first officer, the RogueTrader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters and crabby over approval. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sauerbach, looming over her, or both. Your lordship. Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute the subordinate following suit a moment later. Well, what is the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant? I came here to lead an investigation unit, and what do I see? The rebel is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. It simply calls for immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vent? I step away from facing charges yourself. Well, since they are all located in one area, I wish to speak to the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck.
I always have a backup plan.
Assuming they're going here. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. Some of y'all are ugly. That's what I'm hearing. Like the fuck. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have come down to us. Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us. Your lordship, says the tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what you think. Well, that is what I encouraged now, didn't I? Shut up, Brithet, snaps the old woman, who turns the hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for the buttons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to hold base for a week at a time. So we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spitter with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Agenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It is all true. Vent is the only enforced officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feelings toward us. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The prosecution started a props of nothing, you say. I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The Goga we found on the dead drunkard? It was something evil or forbidden? We sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But then that fight broke out, some enterprising foes looted the bodies. The boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me the cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah. Yeah, those boots were really fine. And there was no harm in taking them, right? As a familiar amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know it any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. And when we're working to bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, Your Lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of our enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had my 3rd little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets and stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavengers who brought evil down on himself, on his neighbors. And his neighbors. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like that one there, the lieutenant won't let pass. Our clearance are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. The death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Awareness test succeeded. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them revealed that the news of the attack has shocked them. Well then, what changes do you want? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms. We'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves. If these cultists do show their faces, I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbors out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultists' bodies, and we'll talk to them. One lower decker to another. If there are any more of these damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They promise us the world now, but as soon as the anointed one turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. All because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eye dive between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if he's planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you're not getting weapons. Like, I agree that those methods are not quite alright, but I won't arm you now. Like, spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Coercion test succeeded. The tall workers, they call rivet shrugs and cast a sidelong look at the old woman. Old nun, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the RogueTrader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Oh, I think I mistook those. Listen to us, old man. The three clans of the Depot Court ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me. Is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against two clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the officers, make your peace. It's great. It's fantastic. Oh, Captain, we are all agreed. Then it is decided. The prosecution will stop, and I will expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Your lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower decks. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Like, I can't imagine like being so hyped about a person like coming down here. I suppose that's a big thing. Like, I wouldn't get this. Like, there's some people like I find pretty cool personally, but even then, like, I would find it that, but I'm not gonna like tell them to their face, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell my grandchildren about. Probably RogueTrader isn't just a big thing in my mind. I guess I'm the one mistaken here. But to be fair, with this, I'm fitting Holt's perspective, with this character's here perspective, perfectly. So let's continue. Of course, your lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Yeah. And that's that, I suppose. I didn't like ask the seneschal or the master at arms for their opinion on the matter because I said previously that I would take care of this. So this is what I
always keep my options open.
Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companions, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Abelard looks at you, and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You no-toed to the disloyal rebel. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rebel will welcome them with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Or they will wreak havoc because we've pushed them to the brink and this is not a good alternative for them. Ever considered that? But sure, continue. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valencia's protectorate? Let's talk about your role in all this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Abelard says irascibly. Remember, Lord Captain Theodora, do you think she ever set one slipped foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers, while she dedicated herself to the grand design of for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and RogueTrader ought. Well, she was a pampered noble, that is true. I don't think like that is the whole reason why she never came down here. I saw her quarters. Like, the first one feels quite right for me. Like, I would agree with that one if there wasn't the second sentence, because the character we're playing, he's not like, I am a Lord Captain aboard the ship, and I'm the new face around the block. Like, he's not that type of guy. So, I guess I take the second one, because, like, I'm not dismissing him. Like, I clearly can see that there is a reason to the system. There is a reason to harshness, to punishment. Like, if there's a punishment to be expected, and you already phrased it out, like, I will kill you if you do so and so, and person does so and so, you have to follow through with what you said first. Otherwise the punishment is null and not valid in any way. So I would be only too willing to trust my seneschal and not fill my head with such matters, but the situation had spiraled out of your control, Abelard. Abelard's face relaxes slightly. You're right. At least as concerns junior officers making complaints directly to you. And Abelard stared straight at attention. I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the Van Valencia's protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds a sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything that had been built over the years and years began to quake, rattling like a flinger on the seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking for grieving, because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out on the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed access to requirements. Like, I very much dislike his sentence on replacing basically everyone with servitors. Like they are like lobotomized humans with robotic implants to do their duties. So basically, I'm not gonna replace my ship with AI. I don't like that one. I would pick the third option. The prosperity of the Van Valence Protectorate is just as important to me. You are the only person who have comprehensive knowledge of things in the future. No, I don't have that in mind. It's not the three. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in the new world. The world that Theodora is gone, and when you and I have to make decisions. I have new decisions to make. Like, I'm... This one, like, prosperity of Van Francis Protector. Like, I couldn't give two shits about that one. Like, my character just wants to be left alone. Like, I agree with the fourth one kind of the most. I value what Theodora created, and I trust that the situation is an aberration in the ship's otherwise smooth operations. Since the established procedures are working, I see no reason to change them. Like, generally, yes, but I feel like I would kind of go back on the words that I did speak to the other guy there. So I don't know. I think, like, as my character is, like, having to accept that he is now captain and the new rogue trader, like, there's new accepting in those things. Like, I don't agree with the first one, it's kinda harsh. Theodore trusted in the established prestige and she died. I won't make the same mistake. If you want to keep building the future of the Van Valencia's protectorate with me, stop living in the past. Like, that is not... But then again, I wish I could save mid thingy. I really wish I could. I really wish I could. Oh god. Let's go with the 2. I know what the 4 entails, so yeah, let's go with 2. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader, if that is what I am to become and to be. Accept it and start living in the new world. A world where Theodora is gone, and where you and I have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at you with interest. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now, please, let us leave the lower decks. If the Rogue Trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. Like, I don't know, I'm currently not sure if any of the decisions I'm making are affecting the game whatsoever. As this is my first playthrough of things. Like, I did, as said, I'm hesitant to record this game and upload it to YouTube, as I don't know what I'm to expect and what to prepare for, like, bunch of reading, bunch of fighting. So I have a playthrough that is, like, just a little bit ahead of this one, and which is probably up to where I will record today. Originally I did not want to do this. I hope that I won't have a need to do this. But currently I have a very hard time assessing whether a decision that I make or something I say will affect the game that much, because they don't have any, like, things that are like, yeah, this is a heretical thing to say, and then it gives you heretic points and stuff like that. I really have no clue. In my other run I chose option 4, but I'm currently rather curious on what that entails. Also, I forgot this one, like, I have all the scrappies, so I can, like, upgrade those things, like, twice each apparently. I don't have thingies for those, even though I can now click on those. I don't know what it does. And yeah, as I've guessed correctly, she is also a decent Supreme Commander. And I'm a better shield master than her, so... We're gonna go with this for now, even though I don't know what any of this means. And now we finally, mayhap, take a step outside. Let's go! For Rykad Minoris. Bloody hells. And I'm not done with the reading, is the worst part. Oh god, I forgot this scene. Yeah, this one is also happening. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you have been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here, in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among the number, you recognize a disfigured and bloodied faces of those who died on the ship's bridge and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? It matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness to take your life. As if it's of its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Vogtvir's weapon, slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing around you in a nightmarishly slow advance. Like, I hate all these responses. Like, I wouldn't say anything, actually. Like, just raise the weapon. Just step back or else. It sounds like an empty threat, to be honest. Like, technically speaking, that the fuck am I supposed to do to them? Kneel before the rogue. If I was doing a heretic run, I would pick that one. I would pick that one if I was doing a heretic run and playing a noble. But I think given how the character is, I will go for a 3. Stop! I did not wish for any of you to die. The dead remain deaf to your words, creeping ever so closer, with the inevitability of death itself. You belatedly realize that your trembling hand has found the shard when its razor-sharp edge cuts into your palm. An unbearably bright light floods everything around you, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon, a skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven, the path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion. Yeah, I think we go for the 3. If I was a heretic, I would still go for the second one. Yeah, fuck you, Tzeench. Because this is what you look like. You look like Tzeench. So fuck you. Tapestries. Well, master of fate. No. Fuck you, Tzeench. Throw the demon blade away. Never! Your body refuses to obey your mind. The handle feels as if it has become one with your hand, and the gaze of the demonic eye sets your very soul ablaze. Resisting your fate is futile. You scream as you feel your soul burn away to ash. You awaken from the vision, keeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat, and with a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces in the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut on your palm and the bloodied shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired. You would rather die than touch the thing again, so you reach a shaking hand for your vox and call for a servitor. Now you just have to wait for the mindless automaton to arrive, pick up the cursed artifact, and head for the nearest airlock to be claimed by the void. Yeah, like, this is something I disagree on. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have used it, but I would have kept it. Like, out in the galaxy, who knows who the fuck is gonna pick that one up, so that is, like, a mishap. Like, yeah, I won't serve you, but keep it close to me. Like, maybe, like, the second option would have been the thing, but, oh well. End dialogue. Ah! This, by the way, link your account thingy-bob that you might have seen was a way to link your game and Twitch. I believe you would have gained like Twitch goodies. I'm not using my Twitch, I will say so. Very open. Oh my god, I'm still not there! What the hell? So let's begin the scan. I suppose those things mean something. But yeah, starport. Yeah, we take all those with me. Yeah, I should probably, like, before I keep recording later on, take a look at what I've actually skilled with my peoples. Because I did skill a little different things, so I'm kinda not sure what I did pick, but yeah. The starport greets you with a din of ordnance, and the smell of explosive tickles your nostrils. It is difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Halt! Weapons on the ground, or I'm firing! A man in a torn and dirty uniform hobbles toward you from behind the chunks of rockcrete and crumpled pastille. Pastille? His cracked helmet is adorned with a crooked label that reads Sergeant Mulga. Alright, so your guys are in lockdown. The rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happen to land on the rear without a scratch to show for it, and on a shuttle like that. Where did you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? He is visibly awed by the resplendent gold of your transport. Grab 'em, lads! We've got ourselves a rebel landing force! Abla turns purple. By the holy throne, what a mess! What is this mess? Idira glances around. They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. Like the second option, like, since when have I become like the God Emperor's chosen? Like, there was like, yo, Abelard, introduce us, you know, kind of thing. But since when is that like a thing that is added to that? You must be mistaken. I am the rogue trader of House Van Valencius. The soldier grows more and more pale with every word you say. As soon as you are done speaking, he falls to his knees. My mistake. Your lord, I didn't recognize you, sir. Please, pardon my blunder. It's a bloodbath in here. A fog grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the surgeon's wards. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The surgeon curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. Surgeon Malgam, with a rasping cough, the surgeon turns back to you. Pardon me, sir. Surgeon Les Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? What is going on here? Unrest, sir. No shit. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First the lower levels sparked, then it went up the spires. Then they hit the vox hubs, the arsenal, the Mac train station. When Felek tore off his mask, precisely because he knew about the trouble in Rykad Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. Cassie let out a sorrowful sigh. You may continue your report, peasant. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxus. The tech priests linked the satellite's reports citing of strange warships in the systems. They are obliterating the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykad Minoris. The governor took precautionary measures in order to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. The alarm was raised, and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. They're crushing us, the scumbags. We've been a whole turn since the last reinforcement came in. We're running low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is on the streets, but they'll drive us out of here in any minute. Well, what caused this rebellion? Ill thoughts, sir. We've fallen on hard times. The ground keeps shaking, things keep exploding, the people are scared. They've forgotten all about the duty, and that's when those, Emperor, forgive me, preachers came. They started writing everyone up. Sure enough, we shot a few, but they just keep coming, more and more of them. Well, we have barely anything, but I cannot leave you and your people without aid. Reinforcements will be sent from my ship. Apparently those reinforcements are us also, as we will clear the streets soon enough for them. I live to serve. I'm sorry, I'm very much reminded of a short. I will link it in the description. Or even in the comments, like no one is reading the description of my videos, no one is watching my videos. But some people apparently are clicking on the comments, so I will link it in the comments because, hey, he lives to serve. The surgeon is so astonished that he only barks out the mandated words of gratitude after a non-mandated lengthy pause. We won't fail, we won't forget. We'll be praying to the Emperor for you, your lordship, sir. Well, I am going to see the governor. If I may report, sir, as long as the rebel keeps shooting the damned anti-aircraft battery, there's absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I will voxcast orders to them to wait for you, and I'll inform headquarters. They better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we will follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. Continue. Idira frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if she's looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've had a lot of blood on your hands. Both yours and others. You know, the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, milady, I can get my head around these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'd fight till my last drop. What tech priest? No. Is the path ahead dangerous? What exactly awaits me there? The surgeon sighs heavily. All of our roadblocks are gone. The whole place is in the rebel sense. The city is almost lost, so no help will come. We are surrounded by rebels. And watch your steps, sir. The streets are chock full of mines. The logic test succeeded. His remark about mines lodged itself into your memory. More than anything, you will need to watch the ground and not your surroundings. You'd rather risk a shot from a rebel or a jitter soldier than experience a few handfuls of lethal frag shrapnel resting on top of some 300 grams of explosive Visaline. What's Tech Priest? A very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Amarant or Amanant or Amanat or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions though. Said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. Yes, a good soldier, Maka. I will see that your heroism is noted. The sergeant blushes slightly. I live to serve. Bloody hells! I don't get that right out of my head. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's verse. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers and spit out the booming series of commands. Ah! Mouse! Why do you betray me like that? Well, there is goodies that we can take. I found out that I can actually look at the map to check out if there's any goodies. Yes, there are goodies. Like somewhere. I have to locate them yet.
Always
Probably
keep
this
your
way.
eye on the prize.
Good. There's goodies. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I have acquired loot. I have acquired more loot. Aha!
Did you see that?
Where's
They
the
almost
shotgun?
knocked us out of the air. Some bumbling idiot's going to regret that when he's dragged before the Lord Captain for questioning and trial.
That's fine.
I do not think the rogue trader should take a personal interest in a common crackpot. Summary execution will be sufficient.
We made.
Alright, let's head out and have a welcoming party.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
I'll turn you into
Alright,
corpse
let's start
stuff.
with you can go here. I will go next to you. Dira will go there, I suppose. Abelard goes there, I suppose. You can go here. Agenta. Dira is actually, let's have you choose op. Okay. We can start the battle. No mind, she will move out anyway. Let's walk up here.
The
After a
enemies
sight
of the
plan.
Emperor will be undone. I will not.
Yes, you will. For I command you to. On the other side.
This is unacceptable. That is not the Emperor's will.
That was bad.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Go here. Maybe those two. They're like so.
I refuse.
You're clearly seeing that guy.
I'll do it.
Shoot here. Shooting there. The fuck? But yeah. Turn's done, I suppose.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Okay. That guy with that target.
I refuse.
I need to like shoot people, I suppose.
On it. You never stood a chance.
Right, thank you. Does we end our turn, and does she ends her turn as well?
Time to slaughter someone.
I love how
Let's get
they're
to
mostly
it.
killing themselves with that thing.
I'm here, maggot.
Okay. What do we have here? Let's start that. She has actually a proper turn. She's behind the cover.
But of course.
Kill that one.
Will do.
Can I like charge there? I suppose I can go there and at least defend myself. Along with the tackle.
At your beck and call. Indeed.
What are you? Agitated. Are you? Yeah, you just seem like the important person. Can do this one for you.
Show me what you've got. Ah!
Let's get to it.
My faith shields me.
Stay vigilant.
Okay, we definitely shoot you first.
Weapon at the ready.
Okay, my turn. That one sucks, but I think Idira has her turn before. Who can I shoot? Can I shoot those in the back? I don't think so, but
I won't compromise my principles.
what do you mean compromise the principles? You don't hit that. You can't hit that. Right, that one?
I won't stand for it.
Sorry, that guy there.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea. I won't compromise my principles.
No. Can't help you then.
Who if not? It's as good as done. Hold on.
Just a minor setback.
Okay.
High momentum.
Ah, she's just out of range. That sucks. If I go here, can she...
Do not dare ask.
Okay. Then, you go ahead. They're both like already.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen. Another enemy down.
Scared yet?
Oh, there was someone in the background I did not see. I love how they are killing themselves. Like, seriously. Oh, that was a shotgun. Can you like hit that one?
Not this Greyer's job.
It's up there.
Was that you?
Of course
Or
I was. Oh wow, that so wasted. Poor fella. I suppose.
It will be done. I took care of this one. I will do my duty. Reduced to dust.
Oh yeah, I gave him a shotgun. Nice. I was not aware of that.
It will be done. Break their morale.
Can I hit that guy there? I'm standing now. Where's that guy? Ugh.
I refuse.
I'm not even close, but I can aim for that one. Or this one.
On it.
For that one, we have a sniper rifle. Why wouldn't we use that?
Who, if not?
Cool.
Out of my way!
Brace yourself, Abelard.
As the Emperor commands, I am eradicated. Doubt is for the weak. Rejoice in battle! As the Emperor commands, I act.
Like, I don't think he can reach that one. Hidira. Actually hit that guy. Maybe. Let's try.
That is foolishness. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
No.
If I may?
Anything else?
Maybe try to hit that guy.
That is not my destiny. No can do.
Okay. Do that. I suppose that's all we can do.
Not this Greyer's job.
Well, that is all we can do.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
Not able to move. There was something where he could move. I think first move, then that. Oh wow.
Victory is imminent.
My faith strengthens me.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Can I reach that guy? Oh yeah.
It's as good as done. You never stood a chance. Let's get to it.
No, that's actually, you know what? Stand there. Stay there. Yeah, sure, potentially by Adira.
What an unfortunate turn of fate. Should I divine our next step?
Well, so we helped on this side, I suppose. And yeah, let's loot everything first. Things first. And with that, I think I will finish this recording. Like, I hate to finish a video.
Rise to the top,
the only
or
thing
get
I've done
left in the
was
dust.
reading the things out loud without having played, like, properly played anything. Like, sure, I made a decision with which may or may not have mattered. What is this? Yeah. So I would feel bad if I was to only like record things that are said out loud and nothing more. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was still this button. Oh gosh, no! I should have saved and ended the recording. Such a slow walk. Like, I would have appreciated the cinematical scene a little bit more if it was actually in the action. Like, yeah, felt awkward. You know what? Fuck this. If you stayed thus far and enjoyed, well, I hope you did, otherwise why the fuck are you still here? And regardless of that, I wish you a lovely day and mayhap see you in the next one. Bye bye.